Hello and welcome to Try a Maths Problem today. The question we have here, I love these questions. They involve factorials. We have n factorial, n plus 1 factorial. These expressions are infinitely long, but we're going to end up cancelling a lot of that infinity out and we're going to solve this question. So if you'd like to pause this video and try it yourself and then check out my solution. Okay, the first thing I want to get clear, if anyone out there is unsure of what factorial is, let me just quickly explain them. We have 3 factorial here. What that means is we take 3 and we multiply by every number less than it until we get 1. So 3 times 2 times 1. 6 factorial would be 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And that's important in this question because we have things like n factorial. We don't know what n is. So we're going to end up writing n factorial like n is equal to n, the number we start with, just like 6 here, multiplied by n minus 1, the number 1 less than n, multiplied by n minus 2. And this stays going on all the way down, depending on what the number is, to like 3, 2, 1, and so on. So that's what a factorial is. Let's get this out of the way and do the question. Okay, I'm going to rewrite all of this in a really long way. I'm going to rewrite n plus 1 as what's 1 less than n plus 1? It's n. 1 less than that is n minus 1. And I'm going to just put in a dot, dot, dot. This means it stays going all the way down to 1. That's what this first term here is. It's this infinitely long expression. Second term, we put a plus in, is something similar. It's n plus 2, n plus 1, n, and let's go all the way down to n minus 1, like we did here. And dot, dot, dot. That stays going forever. The other side of the equals is n multiplied by n minus 1, dot, dot, dot. That goes on forever. And we multiply all of that by 440. So here comes the cool bit. How do we get rid of all this infinitely long things? If we divide everyone by 2, and everyone has a 2 in it, this dot, 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 there was a 2 in there. There was a 2 in this one. There was a 2 in that one. We can divide everyone by 3, everyone by 4, everyone by all the way up to, they all have, they all have n in them. n minus 1, and everything less than that. n minus 1, everything less than that. n minus 1, and everything less than that. This bracket here, we can divide all 3 terms by that. I'll just put in n dot, dot, dot. We can divide this one by it. n dot, dot, dot. We can divide this one by it. n dot, dot, dot. And look what happens. All these, if you think of all these dots as the numbers in the factorial, they all cancel. It's all cancels all the way up. There's an n minus 1 here, all the way up to the n. It's all gone. On this side, we just have 440. Not as much cancels here. Everything below the dot, dot, dots, let me write in n minus 1 on all of these. n minus 1. Everything in the dot, dot, dots cancel. The n minus 1s cancel. The n's cancel. We're just left with this on top row here. Same here. Everything below cancels, and we're just left with the n plus 1. This is manageable. We have n plus 1 plus n plus 2 times n plus 1. We can multiply that out. Is equal 440. No infinities left. We can expand this out and we'll get a quadratic. So let's do that expansion. N by n is n squared. Where do we get all the n's? N times 1. We get 1n, 2n here, and another 1n here. That's 4 n's. All the numbers, we have a 1 here. 2 times 1. That's a 2. There's 3 here. Minus 440. We get minus 437 equals 0. We're just left with a quadratic. Now this is a scary looking quadratic, quite a big number here. Feel free to use the minus b formula. You all know the minus b formula, I hope. That'll get you the solution to this question. But this is something that can be factorized. There is 2 numbers that quite neatly go into this question. 2 numbers that multiply to get 437 and add or take away in this case, to get 4. Now let me show you a little trick on how you might be able to narrow down the options, because you don't want to have to divide every number you can think of into here. Although that would work, it'll only take a minute or so. The trick I notice here is, first of all, there is a minus number here, so it has to be a plus and a minus. So we're talking about the difference of 2 numbers will make 4. So these 2 numbers are 4 away from each other. but they multiply together to get 437, a big number. So we can rule out things like 437 times 1, or I know 2 doesn't go in, but like 2 times 220. We can rule all them out. The two numbers we're looking for are close to the middle of this. And when I say middle of this, I don't mean 200. I mean the square root of it. So the square root of 400 is 20. So I would guess the square root of this is around 21. And what I'm looking for is 4 away from each other. And this actually does work out, but you would check it first. 21, 2 above it, 2 below it is 19 and 23. And which again, you would double check that does 23 divide in? It does. Does 19 divide in? It does. Sorry, 23 divides in 19 times. Okay, we're just left to decide the signs. We want a plus number here, so it's 23 take away 9 would get that. So the answer to this quadratic is n is equal 19 or n is equal minus 23. Now, before you give this as your answer, remember we're dealing with factorials here. Factorials don't make sense for a minus number. So this is not the answer. The answer to this whole question was n is equal 19. So this would have been 20 factorial plus 21 factorial is equal 19 factorial times 440. Okay, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that good things, and I'll catch you next time.